Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow from Options and Play. I'm going to talk to you today about expiration, a really basic, fundamental concept of options trading, and it's something that's really important because for a lot of us, we don't like to exercise contracts, right? We view them as trades. We buy them to open, we sell them to close, and we don't want to take delivery of the stock, right? So that normally is how most people operate, right? And for the most part, for a long time, you didn't have these weekly contracts. So it really was just like once a month where you really had to pay attention to your positions when they're expiring, what was expiring, right? Where the stock was trading relative to your strike price. Now, however, you have so many stocks that trade weekly options, and it's like every single Friday. It seems like you're getting to like this cycle where you really need to like go through your positions, see what is expiring, see where that position is in relation to the stock and where the stock is in relation to your strike price, because you just don't want to make a mistake, right? And some people might want to take delivery of the stock, right? If you're long the call, it's in the money, maybe you actually want the shares. Or maybe if you're long a put and the put's in the money, maybe you actually want to sell the shares. But for a lot of us, like myself included, I most of the time, so like 99.9% of the time, I don't want delivery of it. So I really have to pay attention to the positions to make sure that like the stock doesn't close in the money and I don't accidentally get put or delivered those shares. All right. And up here, let's pull up Nike. So I wanted to talk about Nike. Let's go back to the chart for a sec. And just an example of what I mean, why you don't necessarily want each person's broker probably have different rules, but if you have like the cash in your account to cover it, a lot of times they're going to exercise it and give you that stock, right? That's not going to be the same. So each person's broker is going to have different rules and regulations around that. So you should definitely check. But say for instance Nike, right? I mean, they reported not too long ago, and the stock is starting to move higher. And it's coming up to January 17th expiration, and that's a pretty popular expiration because you have the longer term contracts. So like the leaps, a lot of times are written through the January. So you'll have like a lot of open interest build up around those contracts, and sometimes you'll see like that ramp near like the expiration, right? So Nike, say for instance you have like a 104 call or something like very close to the money, maybe like a 103 call, right? Say Nike, so say it's a 103 call and Nike closes in the money by like 5 cents, right? So yes, technically that 103 call is in the money, but only by 5 cents, right? And what happens is if you get put, say like one call, 100 shares, then your risk basically turns into 100 shares overnight. And if, for instance, like Nike were to gap down 3 points the next day, then unfortunately you take the risk of being long the 100 shares of the stock and not the option, right? So if Nike were to drop 3 points and you're sitting in a 103 call, then you only are what's at risk is only the amount you paid for the call, right? So if you accidentally forget to close out Nike, say it's at 103, maybe it closes at 103.05, then yes, the contract's worth 5 cents, but then you assume all the downside risk of being long the shares, right? Where in reality, you probably would not have wanted to exercise that. So for me, with the advent of weekly options and because they've gotten more popular, I really just want to like make sure and stress that you guys are following along and kind of just keeping track of all the different contracts and expiration, right? That's why I make a note of it each week, just saying like what is going to be expiring that day, and what to watch for, right? Just so we don't run into like that scenario where maybe it accidentally closes the money by a few cents. You get exercise that contract when you don't really want to, and then it completely changes the risk profile of the trade for you. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you like these videos and you're looking for more information on options education or options trade ideas, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. All right. Hope you guys have a fantastic night, and I will talk to you all soon.